Boy, I'm telling you, Andy, we were rocked last week with celebrity deaths. I mean, seems like it was almost every day. I mean, it's like Reaper's coming, the Reaper. I mean, man. I think first we had Malcolm Jamar Warner. That's Theo from The Cosby Show. He was 54 years old. Man, he got caught in a riptide. Is that what they're called? Costa Rica. Did you see the aftermath, like the signs and the yellow tape? You know, like the what is it? The police line, do not cross. You know, did you see all that? Signs all over the beach in Spanish, warning of riptides and if you get caught in one, you know how to get out of it. So, Malcolm was in the Resident for a while. That was what a good show that was doctor type hospital show. He was the head resident. What a shame, man. You know. Next, I believe it was Ozzy, wasn't it? The next day, he passed away at home. He was 76, and everybody knew. He'd been battling Parkinson's for years. We just covered Ozzy 2 weeks ago, and the whole Back to the Beginning special that was from England that ran for 10 hours. You know, it was great to see him. I didn't really expect it that quick. You know, he did a show and then he died. I mean, how heavy metal is that? You know, it's like, let's get all heavy metal and do a show. Yeah, been playing Ozzy and Sabbath all week long. No more tears, barrel boom. Yeah, look through all my stuff between CDs, tapes, and vinyl. With that combination, I have everything Ozzy did. Some are on CD, some are on cassette tape, some are the early stuff, all the Black Sabbath is all on vinyl. And the rest of them are on cassette tapes and CDs. I mean, man, it was just... we just covered Ozzy, like I said, 2 weeks ago. It's like... Then we lost the Food Network chef, Ann Burrell. She was found dead. She was 55. Apparent suicide. That's sad. And then who else? Who else was on the list last week? Jazz musician Chuck Mangione. He was famed for that song, Feels So Good. He died at 84. And, wait, there's more. George Cooman. He is co-founder and lead guitarist for the band Golden Earring. We got a thing that's called Radar Love. Yeah, Radar Love. Boom, 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 boom. No doubt. I've been driving all night. My hands hot on the wheelbarrow. Yeah, he died last week. He is 77. He died of ALS. He'd had it for a while. People in the know. People in the know kind of knew he was sick. Man, it's like, wait, there's more. And Hulk Hogan, who was born What was it, Terry Bollea? He died, he was 71, man, from heart attack, car arrest. Maybe all them steroids he was doing early in his career. Yeah, I got the whole Hulk Hogan mustache going. The Hulkamaniacs. I mean, the Hulkster was he was a global phenom. I mean, back in the 80s and the 90s, he had WWE? Is that it? WWE Hall of Famer. Well known for popularizing Hulkamania. That's right, and all the little Hulksters. No doubt, man. Quite a phenom. Like I said, he was really popular back in the 80s, 90s. Had more controversy later in his career. Hey, don't we all have some controversy in our life's career? Whatever. So, hey, were you a Hulkster? Were you? You were a Hulk. Hey, we're going to Hulkster. No doubt. So, they were dropping like flies last week. Seriously, and we've mentioned before on the show that people are getting at the age, all the people that I grew up listening to, vinyl and cassettes, a lot of the people they were older than me. So yeah, it's time waits for no one. Time waits for no one, and it won't wait for me. All right, before we get any further, remember to give this podcast a like. It's right over here. It's right over there down below the screen on the left. There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up so I know I'm doing a good job. No thumbs down like Caligula. We don't want you being all Caligula-like this morning and, off with their heads. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's the oblong button right over here on the, right there. It's right over here. And hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified of any and all new content. And you'll have a chance to win fabulous prizes. We got polls up today. What's our poll question? Are you planning on going to the Montana State Fair, which is in town? Started Friday. It'll run through next weekend. Give us a yes, give us a no, give us a like on it, and subscribe. You got all your stuff done. And where's my prop this morning, Andy? There it is. Yesterday's Great Falls Gazette. And this morning's podcast is brought to you by, in part, each and every Monday morning by our good friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. It's locally owned, locally operated, with all the local news by local reporters that's fit to print. People that live right in your community, writing the stories. Available on a Sunday deluxe edition and a Tuesday and a Thursday edition. Hey, why don't you pick up your copy today? Back here on the back, we've got the Crime Stoppers in America's Most Wanted. Pipewrench is wanted for a criminally insane podcast. Who do we got on here? Look at Angela. Look at the pose. Look at that pose right here with Angela. Look at that. She's got her arms all crossed, be all gangster-like. Catch me if you can. Ooh, no doubt. And what do they got here? Tanner got arrested. Tanner, good job. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And keep your eye on the sparrow. Why am I singing Beretta? Well, I know I usually have another song, and that's what's on the cover. West Nile virus in Cascade County. Children's Learning and Pipewrench is not on the cover. But if I ever was on the cover, Andy hit it. Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother. Hey, gonna see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at Angela, that pose. She's like telling them that you can't catch me. All right. All right. Good morning. It is Monday, July 28th. On a warm, cloudy Monday morning. Look at the clock. If you needed to be to work by 8, you're about 12 minutes late or so. And if you're listening to me at work, right on, man. But don't let the boss know that you're slacking and listening to me. All right, Andy, what's going on in July 28th? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. On this day in 1973, that was going to be my junior year in high school back in Missoula. Yeah, July 28th, 1973, more than 600,000 turned out to see the Grateful Dead trucking down on Bourbon Street. The Allman Brothers, Lord, I was born a rambling man. And the band, oh, you're gonna carry the weight. All right. They all performed at the Summer Jam at Watkins Glen Raceway in New York. It's one of the largest rock festival of all time. Yeah, I seen that 1 million turned out in Moscow when Metallica was there several years ago. We're not talking about Moscow. We're not talking about Russia or Putin. We're talking about Watkins Glen in New York State, where 600,000. Many historians claim that the festival was the largest gathering of people in the history of the United States, concert or otherwise. Now, you know, can you run that fact check for me? That's okay. It turns out that people, statisticians, historians, what people are, they state that 1 out of every 350 Americans listened to the show at Watkins Glen. They listened. 1 out of every 350 people. And how do you say? Well, you see pirate radio station CFR AM FM. They were out of Hartford, Connecticut. They set up in a camper van and posed as a Canadian broadcast doing remote work, just covering it. They had 10 people manning the whole thing. They interviewed like Bill Graham. other musicians, Phil Lind, other musicians. And since the reason they got away with interviewing everybody is that the helicopter pad was over here and the stage was over here, and they were conveniently parked right there in the middle. Okay? What an event, man. I remember that because it was on public radio. It was like KGPR, whatever, 89.9 in Missoula. And that was at the University of Montana back then. They had the concert, and me and Don Boffman, you all know who Don Boffman is. Was my main brother. Love you, Don. Miss you. We lucked out. We got most of it recorded on cassette. No shit, Andy. We were like on the radio doing the old cassette. And back then it didn't have a cassette. We had a cassette player with a microphone, and then the radio playing and the microphone by the radio. Recording Grateful Dead, Allman Brothers, and the band at Watkins Glen. I wonder where them tapes in there ever. I don't have them. I lost those. I don't have much left of what I owned in high school, to be honest with you. So I have no idea. I have no idea where those tapes are. So, I've gotten some messages like we did with Mike Evans and other podcasts like I had with the animals booking out of Yellowstone. I've got some messages over the last week, 10 days, asking if I could mention another. And I'm glad that people are listening. It's right up my alley. It's like, hey, do you want to talk about cold case murder? It's like, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. I love cold case murders and conspiracies. We like all that stuff. So they want to know if I could mention another Montana cold case murder mystery. This one that I'm going to talk about also involves a pizza business. Reminiscent of the Morris Davis Howard's Pizza murder here in Great Falls, which is also unsolved to this day. I don't know if it's unsolved. I just don't think we can prove. There's theories on who killed Morris Davis, the Howard Pizza murder, but we're not talking about that one. We're talking about another pizza murder, and this one happened in Bozeman, Montana, in 1985. I'm talking about the unsolved murder mystery, the unsolved mystery, what are we calling it? Of the homicide of Randy Church. Okay, now the story with Randy, he wasn't delivering a pizza. Okay, he was at pizza. He was closing down the Pizza Hut where he worked in Bozeman. He was part-time employee. Usually only worked 15 to 20 hours a week. And he was closing that night. Okay? Now, police believe that sometime around 3 a.m. that there was a knock at the rear door of the restaurant, and Randy answered the door. Okay? All of a sudden, someone pumped 222 caliber bullets into his head. Randy was shot the first time directly below the eye, and the second time in the back of the head, killing him instantly. Now, when you shoot somebody in the head, in the back of the head, you want them dead. Okay? It's not a novice type shooter incident. You know, mafia hits are done in the back of the head. People that want to make sure you're dead are usually done in the back of the head. So now we know he's shot, first of all, below the eye, which wasn't a kill shot, probably dropped him down. Second shot, back of the head. Next morning, Randy's body was found at approximately 9:30 in the morning, when the Pizza Hut manager was called, because Randy was a no-show to let people into work that morning. He was closed, and then he was supposed to, a turnaround. You close, and then you come back and open up in the morning. That's called a turnaround. Right. You work the late shift, the first shift. They called. He wasn't there. They found his body. Bozeman police said the day after the murder that police were assuming. Now, y'all know what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me. Okay? Ass, you, mean. Okay? So police were assuming that robbery may have been a motive for the shooting. And there were no suspects at that time. So police have no idea why Church wittingly let someone in, the murderer in. I mean, did he know the person? I mean, if you're working and someone knocks on the back door at the middle of the night and you think it's friends and you open the door, or you look out and you don't know the person, are you going to open the door? No, you're not going to open the door. So did he know the person or not? Like I said, police speculate that Randy opened the back door thinking that, his friends came to visit. Well, but was robbery really the motive? The safe was not open. The safe wasn't stolen. The safe wasn't pried. The safe wasn't touched. Okay? The only money missing was from the till and the money bag. That was, he's putting the till together. Approximately, Andy, they said approximately $1,000. Okay? Poor Richard and Darlene Church, that's Randy's parents. They died never knowing what happened to their son. At the time of the murder, Randy was a popular student, excelling in engineering. He is a student at Montana State University. The semester prior, he held a 3.4 GPA. He loved motorcycles. He liked rafting. He liked working on electronics. Like I say, it's a popular guy. Give you the shirt off his back. From what we've read and what we've researched, this guy didn't have an enemy one. Not an enemy in the world. So, detectives explain, and they say that Randy was very meticulous about when he closed the Pizza Hut. He cleaned everything. He deep cleaned everything. He wiped all the surfaces, clean every night. And you would think that that would be a good thing, because if he already cleaned everything and gotten everything, he'd done his breakdown, he'd done his side work, got everything cleaned up, that would leave maybe a trace if someone was there, right? Okay. Yeah, that being said, Andy, police said that they never found any fingerprints. They never found any type of evidence. They didn't find any DNA at the crime scene. So it's eerily familiar as the Great Falls, Morris Davis. I mean, no evidence, no suspect, no closures. Okay, this is Bozeman's only cold case. This is the only one down there. And detectives want people to know that someone knows something. That's what they believe. Just like with Mike Evans. There's a substantial reward offered in this case. And the Bozeman authorities want you to know that any and all information is accepted. They want to know what you know, if you know anything. Yeah, they want to know. So, another unsolved mystery, a murder mystery in the state of Montana. How many have we done now, Andy? I mean, geez. There is just a whole bunch of missing and murdered and missing and murdered and found murdered people in this. I know it. I'm amazed. And it appears now that there is a mystery that's been solved, okay? And it appears that Bryan Kohberger saga is over. Okay, if you remember, in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022, 4 University of Idaho students, 3 girls and a guy, were fatally stabbed in an off-campus residence. Brutal murders, reminiscent of the Manson murders, just brutal. The police figured that Army combat knife was used in this. Yeah, like I said, it was University of Idaho, but it was an off-campus residence, right? Remember, on December 30th of that same year, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was arrested in Pennsylvania on the 4 counts of murder and the burglary going into the building. The big July 2nd of this year, Kohberger entered a plea on all counts to avoid the death penalty and was sentenced last week to 4 consecutive life sentences without any type of parole. And life sentences consecutive means you got to do one, then the next one, and then the next one. You can get paroled on life if it has with parole. Montana, life with parole, you get a parole date 20 years maybe. You know, so he did the plea bargain, and the big outcry in all of this is why the crime was committed, as Kohberger was silent, didn't have a word to say in sentencing. You know, and everybody's complaining, even President Trump. We want answers. We want to know why. You have 4 sets of parents that also are asking why. Why was the crime committed? Now, the prosecuting attorney in this case, as far as I'm concerned is they dropped the ball on this. I mean, they signed the plea bargain, right? Okay, and they said, okay, you got to do what's in the plea bargain. And they could have put in that plea bargain, they could have forced him to say, look, if you want to avoid the death penalty, you're going to have to stand up and make a statement before the judge and the victim's parents on why you did that. They could have made him admit to the crime, tell the parents and judge why they did the crime, everything. They could have they should have they could have said, look, here's the plea bargain. 4 consecutive life terms, and you got to say, why you did it, when you did it, how you did it, and everything. You got to give a complete statement. If you don't want to do that, then hell, we'll see you in court, We'll see you when the trial starts. So, I really, really think they dropped the ball on that. They could have forced a statement from Bryan Kohberger, and they chose not to. For what reasons, I have no idea. From everything your first year prosecutor would have known to say, look, either give a statement or there's no bargain. So, yeah, it was disappointing at best. All right, we've covered unsolved murders, celebrity deaths, and this piece of work here, Bryan Kohberger. Andy, we got her done for we got her. All right. Remember, everyone, please spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Foster, rescue, volunteer, and hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Until next Monday, if you know anything about Randy Church, get a hold of the Bozeman authorities. We are out of here.